Welcome to the NWA double feature of Powerrr and USA. I had to come up with something, so I'll call it Powerrr USA double feature. If that makes any sense. If you like it, just tell me to keep saying it down below. Now, we got a very interesting situation between NWA Powerrr and NWA USA. Some of what's going on in Powerrr has filtered over to USA, but not much, because they are their two separate shows, which needs a little more than what they got. But it does not mean we got a bad show here. Let's not get it twisted. This actually was a very good Powerrr and USA. Particularly the matches were actually very good. They were. Now, Matt Cardona opens the show of Powerrr. That's what I'm starting with. That's what you're getting. Pretty much, Matt makes it clear. He doesn't want to take the title from Trevor Murdoch. Because, simply put, he doesn't want him to feel bad, he doesn't want to feel hurt, and he doesn't want him to leave it like he did in 2018. Which, supposedly, he didn't work that much anymore. Came back in Powerrr in 2019, and has been back since. Now he's champ. Now, Matt started that, then he flipped a switch and said, you know what? You're nothing compared to me. You think just because things weren't easy for you, it's easy for everybody else. I have been written off so many times, it's a pretty much joke. But you know what? I'm more than just someone getting written off. I am the best. And you know what? I'm going to take this damn title from you, and I'm going to make you leave again. That's what he said. Now, will this be a good match when it finally happens? Hopefully it will be. I do believe it will be. It won't be like the most spectacular wrestling there will be, but it will have a decent story behind it. It will be about a Matt Cardona who really has done great heel work across GCW, across now beginning of Impact Wrestling, and now NWA. I'm sure there have been other promotions he's been working with. I think he also was in New Japan Strong and did some work there too, but I don't know. But period. His work as a heel, I'm telling you now, I love it. He should have been a heel back in WWE instead of this. The Zack Ryder that we got. He was bored for so long. Now he is really interesting. Now, Tag War would be the best thing I would call it, but it's Team War. You got 4 teams of 3 guys. I'm doing 3, not 2. 3. 3 guys in a team. There's only 3 people allowed. No, there's 4 people allowed in the ring at the same time from each team. You get pinned, you're out. The rest of the guys got to one at a time go in the ring. Submitted or thrown over the top rope. Kind of like it feels like a gauntlet and a battle royal in one. Along with being elimination. It's kind of interesting. I'm not going to say all the names in there, but I will say, seeing that Mike Bennett was well versed, along with the guy named Benjamin, looked really good in the match. These two look good. Then, let me put it to you like this. Knowing that it was strictly business with El Rudo who won, I was actually kind of surprised El Rudo was with strictly business. I think it would have been better. Who was the one I thought would have been better on that team? I think who would have been better on that team should have been Kobe Carino. Because Kobe has such potential. You would think he should be on that team. Yes, he's with the Fixers. But I think he should have not been with the Fixers. The Fixers should have not been included. But they are a tag team. They had to put them in there. So that's what it was. But if you didn't have to put the Fixers in the match, Kobe Carino would have been the best person to go with Strictly Business. Honestly, I think he belongs with Strictly Business more than he belongs with the Fixers. Even though he is getting well over as a heel with the Fixers. I'm just saying. Now, when it came to Keira Hogan versus Camille, this was a moment for Keira Hogan. She was in her hometown, and she gets a chance at the title, the Burke, the beauty queen of professional wrestling titles. Can't believe I just came up with that on the fly. That was good. Anyway, was it a good match? Let me give it to you like this. I'm not against Camille, and I'm not against Keira Hogan. or Keira, I always say Keira Hogan, the girl on fire, has always done good work. She was great as a heel. She, at certain points, can be a good face. In NWA, she's been kind of a mixed bag as a heel. More transitioning to a face, she's much better. As a heel, sorry, I'm taking that back. She's better as a heel. Transitioning from face to heel back to face again, it's a mixed bag for me personally. And I think the reason I botched here is that it wasn't a bad match. She did a decent job, Keira. And yes, she lost in her hometown. But the thing that got me was, it wouldn't have been better to put this on a pay-per-view and drag this out? Give Keira some more matches other than Mickie James? Wouldn't it have been better to go up against Paula Blaze? You could easily put, I'm just like, why didn't you use all the other women first for her to get this shot at the Burke? Why couldn't you have done Terrence Terrell? Genocide, I'm about to say homicide. Genocide, Paula Blaze. You could have done something with Kelsey Page. You could have done something with Natalia Markovich. Why didn't you have her go through all the women first and find some way to win? Yes, she had to cheat to win in most cases because she's too small to go up against absolutely everybody. Just having her get this moment in her hometown just did not feel important. And that's the reason why I botched. It should be important that she gets this shot at the damn title. She's earned it, and she should earn it, but she doesn't feel like she earned it due to the fact she went up against Mickie James, who currently is not there. She's not seen on there, so that means she's working more with Impact Wrestling than she's working with her husband's promotion. Now, I don't know if she's still an executive of NWA. I think she is still an executive NWA when it comes to the women. I think she is, but I don't know. Now, there's one thing I do need to add before we go any further. Medusa was on commentary. Now, I said this last time around Powerrr. I would have liked to see Medusa do commentary, because when she was there briefly on Powerrr, she really had a character I liked. So now we got it here. But then there was a problem, and it's called Velvet Sky. And don't get me wrong, Miss Velvet Time is not an ugly woman. Miss Velvet Time can be charismatic when she wants to be. Miss Velvet Time has been a commentary for a while, and she's somewhat grown into the role as a color commentator. But the problem here is this. Once Medusa came out, at one point, Medusa was talking over Velvet. Her charisma is far in advance better than Velvet. There's no way around it. Her quirkiness, her attitude, she just is better than Velvet. But at one point during the show, she started getting quiet, and Velvet took over. Now, I don't know if Velvet grabbed the mic and said, "Hey, what the hell are you doing? You're talking over me. You're making me look bad." Or maybe Medusa just didn't want to make Velvet feel belittled because she was on commentary. Because when it comes down to it, when Tim Storm's there, Velvet's always over him. He sticks in on and off, but Velvet's always the one who's more louder than other than Joe Gilliam. When you see Austin Idol, he interjects himself on and off, but they somewhat complement each other. Never been 100% with him and her together, but it doesn't mean they were terrible together. But you got Medusa, who is a charismatic character. You could feel Medusa. Yeah, she had her moments where it was a little off, but you feel it more than Velvet. And either Medusa herself realized, I'm going to fuck this woman's stick over if I don't pull back a little bit. Or Velvet grabbed her own mic and called her over. She grabbed her mic and said, "Pull back a little bit. You're making me look bad." I don't care which one it was. She got quieter. She did interject herself on and off for the rest of the show, But still, fuck that shit. I want to hear more of Medusa, because Medusa was more interesting than Velvet Sky. I'm just saying, you guys can tell me below. Now, we get the Pope, D'Angelo De Niro, coming back. And I gotta say this. This is one of the things I never understood. I remember when Up Up Down Down had Elijah Burke on it, when he was going up against Kopi, playing, I think it was Madden, 2019 or 2018? When he was on the show and he was playing against Kopi. Elijah's not even a part of WWE. He just went and visited on Up Up Down Down because the day they were in a certain venue, he was there. He was asked, hey, you want to be on the show? I'm sure that's what Xavier Woods did. The Austin Creed. And that's the time you see him, only time you see him, generally speaking, other than what few times he ever was on a dark match or a trial for WWE, you ever see him. So, I don't understand why they never signed his ass. Because when you hear this promo, it was damn good. Was it emotional? Yes, it was. At one point when he's talking about Tim Storm and Velvet Sky, he's saying, Tim Storm, he was right by the Pope's side and he was praying for him. He was praying to God for me. And then you see him talking about Velvet, saying, I was not happy, because he kept saying I was not happy getting hurt and not happy that the roster was worried about me and watching and checking over me. And I was not happy seeing my friend Velvet Sky having to hold my leg while I was shaking. I could not stand that. I am not happy about what happened. But when it comes to Matt Cardona, brother, he kept saying, Daddy, I'm going to come at you. And he's getting that from a little bit of the only person who would go daddy would be Dusty Rhodes. He did get taught by a little bit of Dusty, a little bit of everybody else. But Dusty was an influence on Daddy. That is who he is. And he was more emotional than anyone I've seen, other than a few of the best. His promo was damn good. Was it over the top? Hell yes, it was. And that's understandable. He's still not supposed to be cleared to wrestle. He had to be over the top. So if you didn't like it, I understand. But if you look at it and compare it to the promos that have been on AEW, on definitely WWE, and on Impact, it is I'm botching because I'm trying to think. Was it better than a Seth Rollins promo? Yes, it was. Was it better than Roman Reigns when he did a very important promo? No. But that's all due to the fact of he already got a title and his character is heavily established. When you go into AEW, did it feel more substantial than Hangman Page? It was nearly on par with it. Was it better than a Bryan Danielson when he was talking to Moxley about joining him? No, it was not. But it doesn't mean that this was Bryan Danielson, this was the Pope. It was not that far behind it. That's when I want to make clear that he is a top tier promolist. He is. You can feel it. You can feel how important he is. He's not on the par of a Bryan Danielson or an Eddie Kingston or a Roman Reigns, only due to the fact that Roman has turned heel, because before that, Roman's promos sucked because as a face, he should have been a heel. But when you feel it, he's even better than Josh, at least until this Thursday, where it felt important. I'm just saying. Final match. And if I'm forgetting anything, I'm sorry. You had another Team War match. And this time, you got another set of teams fighting to see if they can get into the finals, along with Strictly Business. And I don't understand why they got El Rudo. He doesn't feel like he should be working with Strictly Business. I just don't feel it. I'm sorry. I just don't feel it. But in the very opening, you got a couple of things. One, you got the intellectual savior of the masses of a Aaron Stevens, not Damian Sandow, getting his ass whooped, destroyed, and then removed by a Tyrus. Then you got Tyrus facing Kratos. And that was going to be interesting. Until they got rid of Tyrus, instead of letting us have a little bit of a fight between Tyrus and Kratos, no, you just had them stare each other down. Kratos tried to get rid of one person, could not do it. What's making me botch is simply that it pissed me off that they never let them just go at each other. That you just got rid of him. And then you got rid of Kratos after that. It just felt like a waste. Now, mind you, you got Plunkett at one point. Clearwater gave him a kick to the face. And he literally was out on the mat for the rest of the match. Because he was facing Odinson. And at that time, you got Powerrr and you got Rodney Mack on the outside waiting to take over if Odinson had been eliminated. Because they were the ones who were the most there. They were the biggest one there. They were the strongest ones there. They didn't get eliminated. And really, Clearwater looked really good. And Odinson looked good. And Plunkett was legitimately just laying there. And I think he might have been legitimately knocked out. Because he had been beaten up a little bit. But once he got that boot to the face, he literally was just laying there. It made no sense for him to be there unless he legitimately might have been knocked out. Because after it was over, they had to go like this to him once the match was done. Because Clearwater was eventually beaten by Odinson. Now Odinson, Powerrr, and Rodney Mack is going up against Strictly Business and El Rudo. Look, $30,000 is a lot of money. And seeing that doing this gives it interest. And I want to see who wins. And I want to see what they're going to do now that they have the accolade of getting $30,000 and being the winners of the Team War. And I hope they go with that instead of just giving the money and then it's gone. They actually give them money, whoever it is, and then they run with it, showing them being rich now, an extra 30 grand, and they use that money to do something on the show. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, USA. Woo! This was a very interesting USA episode 6, because we got Powerrr episode 7, and this is episode 6 of USA. Opening, Colby Corino versus, Ricky Morton's son, Kerry Morton. Now, was it a good match? It wasn't bad. But I didn't expect Colby to job here. He just feels more substantial. Like I said, I felt that Colby Corino, if there had been no fixers, should be on Strictly Business. He should have worked with them. Instead of the fixers, he should be working with Strictly Business. He just has something. And he won it, and I'm not surprised. I am not surprised he won. He was going to win. Now, the next match, let me move on to, there's only 2 matches on this show. And I'll get to that one in a minute. But we did have a little talk with an Austin Aries. And he will be going up against Homicide. Now, he said clearly, I know you're a long-time Homicide, but you're a fighter, not a wrestler. I am a wrestler. I have more accolades than you. My accolades are so big, which they are. Whether you like Austin Aries at all or not, the guy has literally done it everywhere. The only thing he didn't do was get the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. He never got it. Not for long anyway. I don't remember if he ever won it. No, he never won it. He didn't win it from Shinsuke Nakamura when he got his orbital socket broken by him. I'm surprised I remember that. But everywhere he's gone, he's gotten the title. The only ones he never did was in WWE because they thought he was too damn small and didn't believe in him. And that's the reason why he asked for his release and he left. But I can understand what he was saying. Then we had, let me give it to you like this. Once you see Anthony Mayweather talking about what, it would be nice to see a Mims come out. Because if he wants to prove that he can get the job done, the first person he really needs to go through is his protege, Mims. That's what I feel. Yes, you can go through Marche Rocket, and I do believe he's going to go through Marche Rocket. And maybe he'll go to Mims after that, and then he will go through Jax Dean, and then he will try to get into a national title picture. maybe a TV title picture or the world title picture, or maybe the junior heavyweight title picture after the tournament is done. But I felt that Mims should have been the one that he should be dealing with first. Because this all started with Mims, not about Jax Dean. It all went downhill because Mims just could not bring himself to hurt him, and he wants to teach him a lesson that you cannot let anything block you. And he whoops the ass of a Mims, totally, completely, undeniably. Done. That's the way I believe it should be. And they also had a recap of what the tournament's been for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. I did like seeing the small snippets of each match, showing where they're going, who won, who lost. And I think that's pretty good. Compared to WWE, they'll just tell you this is what happened, and they may give you a couple of snippets of it. It didn't feel like anything. Here, we've had more than a few weeks to see this going on, and I did enjoy it. Now, the final match I'm going to talk about, which was the best match across both shows. The rematch. And I'm not putting anything other than review for this, because the best way to put this, because I can't come up with a title, they love hitting titty. I think maybe I should say that. Oh my gosh, maybe that would be the title. They love hitting titty. I'm not going to say, I'm not being disrespectful to these two women. I'm not against Kenzie Page or Natalia Markovich. Both of them are good-looking women. Yes, I'm going to be honest here. If you look at Natalia Markovich, other than the big butt she has, my ex-wife was somewhat built like her. Really. My ex-wife was a albino, and she was curvy as hell. Admittedly, her butt wasn't as big as Natalia's. She had a big butt, but she was very athletic. She had that look. But she kind of reminds me of my ex-wife. And I'm sure people are going to say, oh, maybe that's the reason why I like Natalia Markovich, because she kind of reminds you of your wife because she got nice tits and ass. No. The last time I saw my ex-wife was in 2012, and she lost all that because she became skinny. I don't know what she did. She tried to become skinny, and the curve she had has gone down and down. She was like this and like this. Now she's like this and like that. Hey, more power to her. I'm glad she got into a shape she liked. But she wasn't as thick as that. I'm just saying. Now, this rematch was interesting because the first match, they have no clear winner. They had to throw it out because of the fight. Then Kenzie was suspended until she was brought back. And now they get a rematch. You got Camille at ringside. You got the Tim Storm at ringside. And they made it very clear, I want a clean fight. Well, clean match. And he wanted Camille there to reinforce that you are supposed to be fighting for what's around this woman's waist. He didn't say, I want you to stop the fight if it happens. He just wanted her to prove that as the champ, there's a certain standard. So the match was actually damn good. It was better than any of the other matches. Not taking anything away from Kobe or Carrie. Not taking anything away from them. And not taking anything away from Team War either. But this was the most physical match. And as I said, they love hitting titty. They were chopping the fuck out of each other. And Kenzie's not a very heavy-chested lady. She's not. I say she's like near C. B or near C, easily. And you see, Natalia is a D, easily. I'm not saying she's double or triple D. She's near a D, easily. And she got the chop of her life at one point. That bitch had to hurt. She was chopping her ass. And it's like, well, this is what we got. They literally trying to destroy one another. I really enjoyed the match. And it wasn't just because they were chopping each other in the breast. They wanted to make sure that the other could not win or get the hell up. They were dead even, constant. Now, there were a few botches in the very beginning to the middle. Like maybe 2 botches. But they were minor. This was still a great match. And then we get a very interesting thing. We see Camille decides that seeing how tough Natalia is, I think I'll let her mess up so I won't have to deal with her. Because I don't want her to win and bother me. Because I already dealt, and that was in Power, Keira Hogan. I don't want to deal with anybody right now. So she grabs the leg of a Natalya who got out of the ring after she got pissed, grabs a chair, she's about to hit her, Tim stops her. And also Raymond showed up because he still thinks that Tim is not doing right work and he thinks he'll be better for the brand of USA. Sooner or later, those guys are going to have a match. It's going to happen. The question's going to be, how messed up physically is Raven? And, well, not messed up, but what shape is he in? Can he still go in the ring? Because we know Tim Storm, at his age of, 57, 56, easily, he can still go in the ring. He's not 100% bad in the ring. He's like a Billy Gunn. He doesn't grow old that quickly. The guy's like this. I'm going to feel that later. It's going to hurt. Anyway, you get my point. Once that little moment happened and she got so angry that Tim took the chair from her, she nails a Camille in the back. You get Kenzie taking her back in the ring, and she does beat her, and that's it. And she did it clean either. No cheating. She whooped her ass. So we got a very good, interesting match that you're going to hear sooner or later, either on Powerrr or on USA. My guess is going to be mainly USA. That you're going to hear and Natalya say, she messed with me in my match, I'm coming for her. I don't care if it's on Powerrr or here, I'm coming. That's what I feel. Now, this was 2 good shows. They were. And I can easily say, since it is on YouTube, you guys can easily see it and not have a problem. Now, I want to say this before I go any further because there's not much left I'm going to say because I'm done. I want to ask you, is this format better for you guys? Do you want me to do Powerrr and USA together? Because this is not the end of the week. Tomorrow is. And I'm thinking, you know what? This is the second time. And it actually is kind of easy for me to do it like this. I know it's late. Powerrr. I know. Not everybody wants to see a review when it comes out. But I found that it's difficult to get it done sometimes. Next to me, the last couple of weeks, because the weather in New York has been very bad, it's been incredibly painful for me. My leg has been killing me along with my back. Along with that, I also tried to update my stuff for the wrestling. You see my Impact intro. I just took a while to try and figure out how to do what I did for the graphic. And I'm also still doing my videos for my anime channel. It's not very big. If anyone's ever seen my anime channel, well, no one really sees it. I still like making this stuff. I've done a lot of videos for it, so maybe I'll leave a link below if you actually want to see it. I know no one's going to check it. Anyone who's already seen it, you already know what I do, but anyone else, I may leave a link below. I admit I haven't uploaded anything the last, 3 weeks because I need to take a break because I kind of got anime block, I guess. Kind of have a little block and trying to figure out what I want to do next. So I'm kind of leaving it alone for a little bit, but you can look at all the stuff I've done so far. But I'm hoping you like this format for here. If you don't mind me doing it like this. And last but not least, I am going to make a Gump report. And it will be on Naomi. You should see it Monday or Tuesday. I'm actually going to film it right after this. So, have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.